Thank you. So the story by William Jensen is called Camino Real, and it means the Royal Highway, or sometimes the Devil's Highway. And this is a short story about a father and son on the road. I'm going to read the opening pages. The last thing my father taught me was how to hotwire a car. This was before every engine connected to a computer, when automobiles consisted of just nuts, bolts, grease, oil, gasoline, and antifreeze. I was 15 and the two of us had slowly drifted east all summer. Guards had chased him out of an Indian casino in Arizona for tampering with a slot machine. After that, it was a week in Las Cruces, a near month in El Paso, and then on a hot and humid night in July, into a dingy motel off I-35 near San Antonio. We'll stick here until I can make some money. We need to get some dough and fast, said Dad. Then we'll go to Galveston. You'll love it there, bikini weather. What's in Galveston? We dumped the garbage bags containing our clothes onto the two beds. Dad fiddled with the television. The screen warmed and went from black to a blue-gray, and then a Mexican station came in staticky. Dad smacked the side of the machine with his palm. Opportunity, son. We'll get us a little boat, take rich jerks fishing, live off the sea. You'll love living in a Gulf town. The AC unit kicked on, sputtered, and growled, blowing cool air around us. I was thankful for that. Outside, it felt like you wore a wet sweater in that strange, moist oven type of heat. Sweat covered my chest and forehead. My pits reeked. I took off my shirt and sat on the bed. I heard cars on the freeway and big bugs flying against the window. The sheets stank of cleaning chemicals. Dad switched the dial and found the news. What do you know about fishing? More than you might think. Your old man has been around, you know. Been around a craps table, maybe. Big talk. You got something you want to say? Dad stood facing me. He pulled off his shirt and used it to dry his face. He didn't have an ounce of fat on him, and his biceps and chest looked tight and sinewy. The man didn't exercise, but maintained a teenager's metabolism. He couldn't grow a full beard, and the patches around his mouth made him resemble a coyote. I'm just sick of this. Can't we stay in one place? You will. That's what you said about Phoenix. We were there for 6 months. That's long enough. Dad dropped his shirt to the floor and put his hands on his hips. I looked at the weather girl who told us it was going to reach 100 degrees tomorrow and the day after that. She had big blonde hair and a curvy figure. I wondered if all the women in San Antonio would look like her. Dad tossed his hands up and let them fall, slapping his thighs. Hell's bells, Holt. Things didn't work out. Sorry. They didn't work out in Reno either. I know it's been a tough road, but you gotta believe me. I'm doing the best I can. Some best. Dad didn't say anything. He let out a long sigh. I kept watching the news. The weather girl switched over to a bald guy for sports. He went on about the Rangers and the Astros. Dad peeled off his jeans and his briefs and went into the bathroom to take a shower. I fell asleep almost as soon as I heard the water running. Into one of those heavy black coma sleeps. There were no dreams, just heat and exhaustion. When I opened my eyes, it was early in the morning, but already bright outside. Dad sat on the foot of his bed, tying his shoelaces. He wore his work boots. Cartoons played on the television. Drool had dried at the corners of my mouth. My lips felt numb. Money-making time. Get dressed, said Dad. Too early. No lazy dogs here. I sat up and rubbed my eyes. In my daze, I put on my sneakers without socks. I didn't bother with a shirt. Dad opened the door and a clear, blinding furnace heat rushed in. I walked with Dad to our car, a beat-to-hell Vista Cruiser with a dented fender. Our images reflected off the windows. Inside lay everything we owned. The winter coats we never used, a few sleeping bags for when there was no place to go, some lamps and boxes of plates, coffee mugs and silverware, the rug bound at the ends with yellow rope, a folded card table, and 3 chairs. There used to be 4, but one had been lost or stolen or just left somewhere. There was Dad's toolkit and some library books from my last school, The Count of Monte Cristo, The Red Badge of Courage, Tales of Terror, and the Supernatural. I had not read any of them, but I told myself I would. Looking at the station wagon and its insides made me feel pathetic. I didn't mind having to miss a few hot meals, and I didn't care if I had to work, but I hated how people looked at us when we rolled up like gypsies without a future or a past. Just aimless work hands riding across the Southwest. Drifters, nomads. No one trusted you. I believed if we stayed put, then everything would fall into place. I could make friends, maybe meet a girl. There would be a point to picking up a sport or joining a club. I wanted to be able to see a town change over time. I wanted the security of routine. I wanted Dad to stop fantasizing about one scam after the other. I wanted everything to be the opposite of how it was. I'm going to see if I can get some work. Dad dug into his jeans and pulled out his flattened pack of cigarettes. He shook one out, put it to his lips, and lit it. Dad knew about electronics and could pick up skilled labor in most places. And if he couldn't, he'd settle for general labor, picking trash, loading trucks, and landscaping. When will you be back? At the back time, he said. His usual answer for I don't know. The motel parking lot was near empty. A few pickups with Mexican plates sat at the far end. Weeds spurted out from cracks in the pavement. A lone palm tree stood in the middle of the lot like a religious fixture. I saw the interstate and heard traffic, but I couldn't see any of the cars. Dad gave me the motel key and 4 crumpled dollars. He told me to collect cans and bottles that we could recycle and to only use the money on food. I looked at the cash and didn't say anything. It'll be okay, Holt. I know. I've got friends from the old days in Galveston. We're almost there. Sure, you can hate me if you want. I don't hate you. All this, it's almost over. Thank you very much.